We've got Anthony Miley. We've got Trent Hancock. Here he is. Trent Hancock, a young man who started End the Fed movement right here in this town. Let's give it up for Trent. Yeah.
How are you guys doing today? Beautiful day to be out here. Last year we were kind of cold around this time, so basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about is how we need to focus on true constitutionalism and need to make sure that the people in the movement understand constitutionalism, because that's the only way you can win the argument against people like the lady with the Obama sign. Where is she? I'd love to debate her anytime. But basically, how to talk to a liberal. For instance, a libertarian has the best argument against a liberal. I'm from Portland, Oregon, so I know a lot of them. But basically, in my opinion, liberals stand for civil liberties for the most part. They are against the Patriot Act. I know a lot of you here are for the Patriot Act, but if you read the Patriot Act... Good, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. But if you read the Patriot Act, it gives the executive branch the authority to label you an enemy combatant and arrest you without due process. So to me, this is one of the biggest strikes against the Constitution ever written until the health care plan. So basically what I'm asking for us to denounce the Bush Republicans, because the ones that remain Bush Republicans are the ones that destroyed the Republican Party. If you look at every Republican that's ever been elected, they get one off non-intervention and non-foreign occupation, because if you look at it, nation building is a Democrat thing. Most people don't realize that, but every major war we've ever been in, it was a Democrat. So as far as I'm concerned, in order to have limited government, we can't have Homeland Security out of control and able to label me, for instance, an enemy combatant, which probably will happen someday. So I think, you know, as conservative constitutionalists, we need to take a stance against the Patriot Act.
Yeah! Absolutely.
And when we do this, a lot of people like that woman carrying the Obama sign will realize that we aren't warmongers. Obama's a warmonger. Yeah. If you want to argue with a liberal, you tell him, how come he's bombing Yemen right now? How come he's bombing Pakistan? If you want to argue with a liberal, you can destroy his base right now. His base, the Democrats are extremely angry with him because of his positions. As far as my opinion is, my humble opinion, I think we need to capitalize on that and destroy his base. And another thing I wanted to say is, let's not focus on Obama, please, as much as possible, because he is a puppet. There's only two kinds of government. There's an oligarchy and there's a constitutional republic, no in between. And an oligarchy, there's never been a dictatorship. No one man ever controls a movement. Obama is a spokesperson for an oligarchy. There's a cartel in control right now in the United States.
That's right!
And I appreciate all you for taking the time to come out here and help us, because we need it. We really need the help. And I think right now we need to really take the time to reach out to the other Americans that disagree with us and explain to them how this is leading eventually towards something dangerous, because if we don't come to an understanding that we're both being played by the establishment, we're going to lose this argument. You know, the establishment right now has massive funding. And another thing, I want to thank Henry Kriegel for instance, he called and asked me to come out and speak, and I really appreciate that. And the Tea Party locally here, I appreciate them a lot, because they haven't been hijacked. You know, and if you look at the National Tea Party, you're seeing people like Brown being supported from the Tea Party. We need to get the people in the Tea Party that are supporting Brown to understand that Brown was for the stimulus. He was for the bailouts. Yep. So it's massive hypocrisy for us to turn around and support one of these people. Another thing, I know I'll be brief, you guys have been standing out here all day. I need to read a quick quote from David Rockefeller out of his own memoirs. This was published in 2002. It's David Rockefeller's memoirs. And he writes in it, "For more than a century, ideological extremists at either end of the political spectrum have seized upon well-publicized incidents such as my encounter with Castro to attack the Rockefeller family for its inordinate influence they claim we wield over American political and economic institutions. Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists, and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that is the charge, I stand guilty and I'm proud of it." Now, if anybody wants to still say world government is a conspiracy theory, they haven't done their homework, because these guys are saying this all over the place. We have people like Newt Gingrich talking at our movements, and if you read in his book, he claims he is for world government. He was for the stimulus, and he is for Republicans leading from the middle. And so that is our problem. We need to make sure we do not get hijacked. And yep, that's right. And I guess that's about all I got to say is, you know, when you argue with a liberal, give them a libertarian argument and you will win it. You will win it. Because the problem we're facing today is libertarian, or let's see, what's the way to put it? Economic freedom is in the Republican Party. The economic freedom, whatever they claim it is, they don't believe it. But and then you have supposed civil liberties in the Democratic Party. Why are these two things separated? You know, why can't we have civil liberties and economic liberties? Yep. And another thing is, if you do support the war, you don't have to agree with me on the war, but you need to realize that Obama is the commander-in-chief right now. So if you trust him to put our troops in harm's way and to make the right decisions, I don't know what to tell you. So I guess I'll leave it to that. Thank you all for coming out.
All right, that was one Dusty's presentation. Thank you, Trent. Up next, we're going to hear from